Yes, hello, it's me again. Probably only for about the second, maybe third time this year. Sorry about that. February was a bit of a washout, and March I was getting back on my feet, but it's April, the sun is shining, and I have a new approach to be using in my videos, which is taking half-finished pieces, bits of wood that have been used in demos or for practice techniques, and turning them into finished pieces. So this one, well, the back needs a bit of a tidy up. The general shape feels okay. Could maybe work on the curve there a little bit. And the front, well, most of that is turned. Quite a thick, chunky one. It could arguably be used for some texturing. But I want to do a very simple paint effect today that I hope will be very effective. So keep watching. Better put my glasses on as well. Right, let's get this in the chuck. And I've got some new cameras in action today, so putting them through their paces, that will be fun. Now, I'm going to put a chucking point here so that I can turn this round and work on the back. That actually looks really quite effective, doesn't it? Quite like that. So, need to go in here, put a little recess in there, 70mm wide, with the parting tool. So let's get that in action. There we go. Give you a different angle of that. Let's turn the lathe on. Speed down, spinning. Off we go. So 70mm. Let's see what that is. I reckon that's barely 60. It's not quite 60. My eye is way out today. Might as well use the time to practice cutting right to the centre. So get that cut right down into the corner. Perfect. Right, we'll get that out of the chuck key and turned around. So it really just needs a very little clean-up. Doesn't need much attention at all. Now I just want to give a little bit of attention here, just using a little spindle gouge on that little edge of the foot there. And that just gives a nice crisper bit of detail there. You can hear the cut being a bit interrupted. Alright, so I'm showing off a little bit now. It's not as good as using a proper green screen, this little picture down in the corner. Just using the NVIDIA graphics card, but I've spent quite a bit of time preparing the piece of wood. You saw me go through several grits of sanding, 120, 180, 240, 320, 400. 400 for lacquer, 240 for spirit stain. And this has had 3 coats of ebonizing lacquer. After the second coat, it gave it a little cut back. And I'm now going to move on to adding the colour. And the colours are going to be Chestnut Products, Iridescent paints, and a Sonja white titanium paint. And it's really based on a little section of a demonstration I did last night for Thameside Woodturners in Billericay in Essex. A lovely club. If you're in Essex and you're not a member, I'm sure they'd welcome you with open arms. Right, let's get the paints ready. Give it a good shake. And very simple technique. Just fold your paper towel up into a little square. And then one more. I'm just going to use this edge to put the paint on. So I've got that all on my bit of paper. It's going to go on heavy to begin with, so I could get the excess off. I think I can do that on a little bit of newspaper because there's not much room in the middle today, so I'll just get some of that off. I'm going to start over here, and I might want it to be a little bit thicker than this, but I'll keep it relatively light to begin with. But as more of the paint goes on, obviously it will get a bit thicker, and it makes a nice crackle kind of look. It splits a little. You can see you can put quite interesting texture in on with the paint. Yeah, that's showing up nicely, isn't it? Let's get some more on there. Right. So I'm going to go a little bolder in a few places now. So around this side where it's a little bit thinner, let's put a bit more paint in there, get it a bit more saturated. Get some red on there. So close to the pink. But leaving still a bit of a gap, because I'm going to need room for some white. This is where I can see I've got the angle a little bit different. That's coming closer on the tailstock. That's not closer, is it? Let's zoom you in a bit. This is what I've got these cameras for, giving me a little bit more control. Give it a moment to come into focus. There we go. So a little bit heavier there, but that doesn't matter. I can come back and work that again in a moment. I do like the brightness and the boldness of these colours. They might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I like them. So this is very light. I'm going very lightly. And let's get some paint to the edges. And I like the way it puts a little bit of texture in with the paper. And let's get some white on there now. Okay, now the white, I'm going to go in some of those gaps, and I'm not going to go everywhere with the white, and maybe I'm going to keep it a bit thinner. Maybe I will. Still a bit of black coming through, which I like as well. Right. Yeah, it's not completely smooth, but it's taken, knocked those high spots off, and I think that's going to be better. So the second coat has gone on now, so you can see the start of a reflection beginning to appear there. My hand in the lacquer there. Give it another coat in about 10 or 15 minutes, and then give it a bit longer to dry, and then maybe cut it back a little before I put another coat on. So a little bit of a continuity problem with my new haircut, which just shows you how long it's been since I did some work on this platter blank. I'm going to turn a little shallow bowl in the middle of it now. Right, so I'm back in the shed, and as you can see, I've turned the inside out. Forgot to film it. It's amazing. I've got very close detail on my lovely new cameras. I'm just going to have to just show you. Get that out of the way. Oh, and there's a timer going off in my pocket. My sourdough loaf is ready. Let's turn that off, and I'll go and get it out of the oven in a minute. And what you missed was a little bit of hollowing out of the bowl with my bowl gouge, and this wonderfully close shot that I could get right inside and show you the centre being cut. But forgot to press record, which is very irksome. Let's watch a bit of sanding instead.
Oh.
It's been a while since I posted a video. And it's been quite a long while since I actually finished anything. But there we go. Front and back finished. A little bit of sanding dust in there, clean that out. I'm moderately pleased with this one. I'm always pleased when I get the wood against the paint rim, tidies it up, gives it a bit of definition and shape to it. I'm unsure about the white. I think it dominates a bit too much, but there we go. I'm sure this will be the first of a long line of finished videos. As I said at the beginning, my intention is to take from the shelves over there a poor, abused piece of wood that's been through several demonstrations, several treatments, and turn it into something that is complete and finished. But I don't have anywhere to sell my things at the moment, and I'm about to disappear for a whole month off to help my son and do some house renovation in Portugal. But I will be back at the end of the month in May for another free subscribers Zoom event where I'll be doing a decorative rim following on from the free Zoom event I did for subscribers this month. So if you're not a subscriber to my newsletter, head over to my website and sign up. And the decorative feature that will be completed on that rim is down to newsletter subscribers' choice. So you'll need to make sure you get hold of May's newsletter, which will be out obviously in a few days' time from now, as we're still in April. 23rd of April, day of filming, Shakespeare's birthday, Shakespeare's death day, reputedly. Anyway, it's got a little bit of a flavour of a flag to me. I think, as I don't have anywhere to sell this, maybe I should do another free giveaway. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Or should I put it back on the lathe and do a better job of the decoration? Thanks for watching.